Hello and welcome to another episode of Tecman Talks Dynamics. This time it's me in the host chair, and then I've also got Zach Bird, one of our Dynamics 365 CRM and Power Platform consultants, and also aka our marketing guru when it comes to what was called marketing, which is all about the topic of today's podcast. So, if you have seen the announcement, it first got kind of mentioned in July, I think at Inspire, when Microsoft said that Dynamics 365 marketing was no longer going to be called Dynamics 365 marketing. So, when has that come into play? 1st of September. And this podcast, we're going to try and outline a little bit more about what that means for those that are using it already. And also, if you're about to kind of implement it with Tecman as part of your project, or if you're out there looking at it as a tool and looking at who you work with, etc., what you need to do and know about kind of implementing this tool kind of September 2023 onwards. Okay. So, let's start. Give me the new name for Dynamics 365 Marketing. What is it?
So, Dynamics 365 Marketing has officially been renamed as Dynamics 365 Customer Insights -Journeys.
Okay. Rolls off the tongue then.
Yeah.
So, we've established that Microsoft have done a fantastic job at naming conventions again.
Yeah. I think this all ties into the fact that they're essentially bringing Dynamics 365 Marketing into Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. And they've essentially just taken the Customer Insights name and decided to call the marketing area Journeys.
Okay. So that's the first bit then. The name has changed. And as of September 2023, the name is Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. And then specifically, the marketing functionality that we know, we love, etc., is -Journeys bit of that app. We'll come on to Customer Insights in terms of the legacy, the history, what it is, etc. If people don't really understand what Customer Insights actually means, because that has been an app for a little while from Microsoft. But first, we've got the name change. So, what in reality does that mean functionality-wise for a customer? So, yes, it's having a name change. Is it just one of those where it's a name change and that's it, nothing else happens? Or is it a case that we're losing and we're gaining in some areas? So what have they announced from that perspective?
So Microsoft have announced that essentially they're going to stop improving the outbound marketing area of the marketing app. And they're going to essentially focus all of their resource, time and effort into improving the real-time marketing area of the solution.
Okay, so for those that don't really appreciate, because they're not used of it at this moment in time, etc., outbound real time. So let's just recap. What to date has outbound functionality give us in what we knew as the marketing app?
Yeah, so outbound marketing has been there since day one of the marketing solution.
Yeah.
It's important to note that there is no official sort of deprecation of outbound marketing at this stage. It's more so just a heads up that, it isn't going to be officially, improved.
Yeah.
But the software will still be there. So anybody who is an existing outbound marketing user and all of their current, marketing efforts go through outbound will still be there.
Okay.
But yeah, outbound was essentially the tool that, as I say, when the marketing app was created, outbound marketing was the main area. And it was just used for, as it suggests, outbound marketing blasts to large audiences.
So email shots, essentially.
Email shots
based on a
target audience.
Yeah, targeting. So that a marketing list, as we've all known it, but segment is what the marketing app calls it.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So that was the bread and butter of and is still even though Microsoft do state in some of their documentation, they're no longer going to add features to it, but they will continue to support it.
Yes.
That's what we've known about kind of outbound marketing for a while. And by default, people have kind of, before real-time marketing came into play, that's the only thing we could use. When real-time marketing came into play, I think those customers that had the opportunity to use both were using both in different ways.
Yeah.
So going back to, obviously, we held our kind of CRM Power Platform Customer Day back in April. We talked about real-time marketing. We talked about how customers that are using the marketing app, etc., should definitely get onto the real-time marketing experience and start to explore that functionality. But I think in layman's terms, what is real-time marketing? What is differing about that functionality compared to outbound marketing?
Yeah, so as you say, Microsoft are essentially pitching a transition period at the moment to essentially advise everybody to whatever they're doing in outbound marketing, you can also do in the real-time marketing area.
Okay.
So, all of the features that we were talking about at the start, such as, segments, emails, journeys, forms, events, lead scoring, all of it is essentially going to make a slow transition into the real-time marketing area. The key difference in the real-time marketing area is this concept that Microsoft are also shifting their focus away from, large-scale marketing campaigns that are just towards a target audience, such as, the food industry, for example.
Yep.
It's this new concept, within marketing of this audience of one.
Okay.
So everything in real-time marketing is a lot more geared towards personalization. So essentially, there are triggers that you can use that essentially will look at any table within CRM that you can use to trigger an activity, such as, a quote has been accepted, an order's been made. Any table you can think of in CRM, you can now personalize communication with the customer. And we already have many customers that are already using the real-time function.
So essentially, the one big thing is this thing called trigger.
Yeah.
So there might be some triggers that, as a start of a 10, that Microsoft kind of say, hey, have a look at these. But in principle, you can go and create your own triggers by looking at data.
Yeah.
So I've used the cost of bean coffee cup analogy before, where I hit my 10 beans now as it is, and I get a lovely email at that 10 bean going, you got a free drink. Yeah. Again, it's personalised to me and stuff like that. The system has known when I get the reward. But to a customer in the B2B world or a new customer, it could be you change the relationship type in CRM from prospect to customer. All of a sudden, that trigger goes, hey, I've now got a new record that now says customer. Yeah. Right, now go and pick that primary contact against that record and go and send them a lovely welcome pack with links to lots of material using real-time marketing that just happens by a change of data inside of CRM.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the true idea around these triggers.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it all ties into the personalization aspect. Okay. The classic thing in marketing that everyone always says, what's the one thing that everyone responds to if you just shouted it out loud? Yeah. That would be a name.
Yeah.
Everybody responds to their first name. Again, that was the basic personalization that you had in outbound marketing.
Yeah.
You could say, hi Jason, XYZ.
Yeah.
But in real-time marketing, it goes, another level deep. So you go, hi Jason, thanks for ordering this product. It'll be delivered at this date, etc. You could go as far as you want based on the data that you've got in CRM using the real-time marketing function. So it's just taking it another level deeper in terms of personalization. So a name's cool, but imagine being told, it's arriving here, you've bought this, it's a lot more engaging for the reader.
So it's all about kind of this kind of customer journey, customer experience kind of model, which is kind of the whole, I guess it's buzzword, but it's a very much an in thing, this whole customer journey kind of mentality and making sure it's improved from start to finish. And that's obviously that goes far wider than marketing and stuff like that. But I think, these triggers are essentially going to drive a lot of kind of that experience with the customer then, I guess. And that's the reason why Microsoft are putting so much effort into it, and probably notably also why outbound is not the focus point anymore. That's traditional kind of what we did years ago. And whilst we can still do those odd kind of blasts and stuff like that, it's a case of the more personalised manner is becoming the way to go.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool things you can do with the real-time marketing solution, again, based on the data that you've got in CRM.
Yeah.
So you could have, an email that you write about a particular topic, but there's a concept called conditional content.
Okay.
So based on, let's just say, the industry type was either food or building materials. Let's just say food, you can essentially put in the conditional content, if industry type is food, change the image to, a food-related image.
Yeah.
And the same for building materials, essentially. So you're sending out the same email, but the conditional content will look at, okay, what industry are the people in your CRM solution, and change the images around, again, so it becomes more relatable and more targeted to the actual reader.
But also the idea is the overhead is that you're not creating multiple versions of that email, just with a different image on it.
And that is something that in outbound marketing, a lot of companies would do. They'd just have multiple versions of emails based on industry, etc. Whereas now you can just conditionally change images to suit.
So is there anything that we have noted? So outbound marketing is kind of not being improved.
Yeah.
Real-time marketing and the functions of outbound is going into real-time.
Yeah.
So I think I've read somewhere that as of the 1st of September, new customer for the tool, outbound marketing doesn't get made available by standard. You only see real-time marketing functionality. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So the reality is, but I can still do the core outbound functions inside of real-time now. But is there anything else? Is there anything else that we are going to lose that we know at this moment in time, or is there anything that, do you know what, it's we're unsure of where this is going at the moment?
Yeah. So the main thing that's being lost out of marketing from outbound to real-time is social posts. That is the one area that's not currently on the roadmap, I don't believe, from Microsoft.
Okay, so
to introduce into real time.
So in terms of what was or what is for existing customers in outbound marketing functionality, this social post stuff, is that you can connect to a few channels: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Maybe I think it is. Yeah. And you can create a basic post.
Yeah, very basic.
You can schedule it to be sent out on a certain time to that account. And that's it. And sometimes you might get some insights back, but it's limited, I guess. I always got the feeling that you could do the post out, but the insights and the evaluation and what you took from that data back inside the tool wasn't particularly brilliant.
The insights on the social post was never really comparative to a dedicated social media posting tool, as you can imagine, like a Sprite Social or a Hootsuite or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
But again, that's as of right now, social posting isn't there. Who knows if Microsoft
we'll come on to customer insights with the data stuff towards the end and start to touch on that a little bit. I do wonder whether that side of it will try and pick up more of the social posting area.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it will do exactly what it did in marketing, but I do wonder whether that bit will kind of own the social kind of posting element to kind of the offering from Microsoft moving forward.
Yeah, very possible.
Okay, so the only other thing I'll mention high level, do we know at the moment in time? So obviously events is going to be in real time, events was in outbound. One thing that we did have is this concept called an event portal. So if you run an event, you could go and create a form, put that form and that script on your own website. No problem, send a registration, away we go. And you can put it through there. But what you can also do is you can, if you pay the additional bit of license for the hosting of those portal pages, you could have a event portal yourself with the marketing app and outbound. That is not traditional Power Pages as it stands today. You can go and create Power Pages to link to marketing, but that's more of a bespoke partner customer function. But in terms of out of the box, it's based on Angular, etc. I've seen that Microsoft have a roadmap to obviously want to get the marketing portal into Power Pages, which that day when it comes wouldn't be a day too soon. But are we losing anything else on that event bit initially in the interim around kind of events and portals?
Yeah, so at the moment it looks like the only thing that a key thing for some of our customers would be the payment gateway.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be on the roadmap as of yet, but the events portal changes are overwhelmingly positive. Yeah. As you say, moving the events portal away from Angular development into Power Pages is going to make it 10 times, 100 times easier than it ever was to customize your event website.
Yeah.
The Angular portals that already exist are very limited, and you needed to know that language of Angular to go and customize it as you wish. But again, tying into the actual real-time marketing and portals, event websites, the actual forms that you have in real-time marketing now, say you create a form, as soon as you create a form, it will generate code that you can lift essentially in multiple various different coding languages. I think Java, C#, there's loads more.
Yeah.
Essentially, now you can lift your real-time marketing forms and put them onto your Power Pages sites. No problem whatsoever.
So it's more just about we might be losing the bit around the payment stuff, where currently you can create this concept called a pass, and you can then use an event portal with traditional marketing and outbound to then take a payment for that pass for that course that etc. you're going to be on, or that event you're going to go to. Okay. So
it'll be interesting to see. It could be another one of those that it is there.
Yeah. We just got to wait for it to evolve. Obviously, we're recording this kind of early into September.
We're 12 days in.
Yeah. And we're working with the information that we've got. Exactly, so please don't shout at us if something then evolves in the next 24 hours, because we know it can.
Yeah, we're at the bleeding edge.
Yeah. So that's our caveat for the podcast, by the way. That's our covering our backside. But so that's a bit around kind of what we're losing and what's changing. So in terms of Dynamics 365 customer insights journeys, aka marketing, right now, existing customers, should they look to move what they've got today from outbound, if they've already still got outbound, anything left in outbound, into real-time marketing? Should that be you need to get on with this sooner rather than later, even if they're still in the old marketing kind of functions?
Yeah. So I'd probably advise every customer to at least have a roadmap. You don't need to panic and do it all today.
Yeah.
This isn't outbound marketing is going to close after this podcast. You're going to have a lot of time to eventually transition from the outbound over to real time.
Yep.
But it may just be worth, going through what you've done in outbound marketing so far and planning, how do we get these things over into real time? A classic one is, segments, emails, all of that. You may be thinking, how are we going to get everything from outbound into real time? It's really easy, and it essentially just copies it all over.
So there is a transition path then across into it. You don't have to go and I've got to rebuild everything again.
No.
Okay. Well, that's good then. There's a little bit of kind of ease and comfort at that kind of knowledge that it's not that means I've got to rebuild everything and all my kind of content and my templates again.
And as I say, you're getting benefits of moving into real time. So with the forms, etc., the forms are significantly better.
Yep.
The emails has got greater personalization. There's no reason to stay around in outbound really at this stage. Yeah, okay. It may just be worth, making the move as soon as you can. I know that in real-time marketing, they're saying that creating an email should... Actually, no, this is creating a form. Creating a form is apparently 50% faster and easier in the real-time marketing solution than it is outbound.
Is it?
Yeah, I would say so. It is a lot easier. And another thing we haven't touched on, I don't know if you're going to bring it up, but is Copilot. Copilot is...
I wasn't, but... As Copilot seems everywhere, we might as well crack on and mention Copilot then.
Yeah, Copilot is everywhere, but it's worth mentioning that it's going to come into real-time marketing.
Yep.
Copilot's going to help you essentially build segments, journeys, emails. So Copilot is going to assist you along the way within real-time marketing.
So essentially, this natural language to ask my marketing tool to say, please go find and build and get ready and create a journey for.
Yeah.
And in principle, the Copilot is going to assist me. And now we've talked on other podcasts about kind of Copilot. It is an assistance. Yes, it's not going to do it for you. It's not going to replace people. It's not going to replace your marketing team. But it's going to help you get it out, create it quicker, to utilize it quicker.
Yeah.
And enable you to query kind of what you've got available to you. So okay, so that, again, I dare I say, it's a benefit. Obviously, Copilot going only into real-time marketing, and also we'll talk about the impact of price of the solution towards the end. But obviously, an added benefit of this Copilot functionality is good. It should never be taken as it's a gimmick. Yes, AI, it takes time to evolve, and it will assist you moving forward, and it will continue to learn. But to have natural language support you in your use of your tools on a daily basis can only be a good thing.
It's going to save marketing teams considerable amounts of time.
Yeah.
Just by giving them a head start. As you say, it may not be perfect, but it's going to give you, an overview head start of what you need to start thinking about. There's a lot of cool features, such as, Copilot will change the tone of an email if you want to, is something that's going to come in.
Okay.
So, you can have a more relaxed version of your emails if you wish to. This could be something.
How are you doing?
How are you doing? Things like that. That also ties into A/B testing. Let's just say you have a very formal style of writing at your company, and as Jason says, you decide to branch out and go, yo, how's it going? You could always do that in your A/B testing, and if you don't know where to start from going from formal to more relaxed, Copilot will give you the head start of here's where you go, and then it's a take it or leave it from there, but it will certainly help.
I can't wait to see Microsoft's interpretation of casual or laid back. All I can now think about is a certain alcoholic brand website being in the outback as such, going, what's up? But anyway, we will move on to me reminiscing about TV adverts. So, okay, we've talked about the name change. We've talked about some functionality differences. We've talked about the fact that you take the tool today under the new name, and you're only going to get real-time marketing functionality available to you and deployed by default. So, and we've talked about some of the benefits of Copilot that's going to be inside of real-time marketing as that comes to release. That's not quite there yet. We'll add. So, in terms of moving forward, then we've talked about some of the transition as well, and it's not a start again. There is the ability to transition without loads of effort. I suppose the effort, more than anything, is maybe some understanding and getting heads around real-time functionality specifically, into triggers being the big one, and having some guidance on how and what you use triggers for. But then outside of that, in terms of, let's talk about, before we talk about costs, licenses, and those necessities, I guess, let's talk about customer insights then. So we've said the name marketing is being renamed to Customer Insights -Journeys. Customer Insights also has a -data to it. And Customer Insights used to be a tool, as well as marketing. So, for those that have never really explored and really understood what Customer Insights historically was, with a little bit of homework on the desk, what's Customer Insights?
So, you're going to absolutely hate this answer, but I'm going to say it anyway. it is very self-explanatory. It offers you insights into your customers. I know I'm not saying anything, revolutionary here, but essentially
Finish the podcast then. Right, thanks, done.
But yeah, what it is it gives you an overview of, your customers' behaviour, such as transactions, their engagements. There's a lot of this ability to connect to any sort of external data source within customer insights, to drag data from other sources into customer insights. It essentially just gives you an overview. Essentially, it's profiling your customers and what they're interested in, their transaction history, and it gives you, a greater insight into what they're more likely to buy. There's a lot of...
I've seen something about like churn risks and stuff like that. So it's kind of give you like, if it's connecting to these sources, looking at a churn risk, i.e. if they've slowed down on engagements with you, if they've stopped buying from you, etc. like that, then profile them to say these might be at risk. So hold on a second. You might want to give them a bit of TLC, or you might want to deal with them differently because their needs have changed, etc. So it's the ability, I guess, to learn more about your customer in reality, not just the traditional CRM. I've had a phone call.
Exactly.
Not just I've created an invoice for them. Not just it's trying to bring that together using Microsoft's, you could say AI, but using Microsoft's technology and its modeling, data modeling, to say, we think based on everybody else, these are really hot kind of in kind of front and center customers right now, but these ones are at risk or a problem at this moment in time. Is that kind of where it's at in terms of what it's trying to deliver?
Exactly, yeah. It essentially is helping to support your sales efforts in reality, because it's giving you an overview of, purchase history, what people have been doing, what events they've been attending, etc. So there's essentially just a little profile on the side, and it will tell you, they're more likely to buy now if you get in contact with them. It's just giving you that insight to support the stuff being in everyone's heads, essentially. So a salesperson may say, I think that person's going to, be more interested in buying. Customer insights will have it there in, essentially black and white, saying based on the data we have.
Yeah, it supports it.
It's supporting your evaluation of that customer.
And you talk about these sources. What's a source? What is this source? Because obviously we're going to sit there going connected to CRM. Yeah, great, no problem. You link it with marketing. Yeah, no problem. And that's kind of our very kind of closed world. But it's not that. It's a case of it connect to more than just CRM.
Yeah, I believe in terms of connectors, again, this sounds like a wishy-washy answer, but it is just essentially connectors to anything you can.
So it's like API kind of.
So essentially.
So we could put it to BC. Business Central. We could put it to social media and stuff like that.
Theoretically,
as well. Okay. So that's the bit around what Customer Insights is offering then. It used to be a standalone tool, used to be there, have its connectors, be able to do profiles, and you could pay an independent fee for that tool.
Yeah.
Being honest, we don't have a single customer at Tecman as it stands today that bought that individual tool. My personal opinion was because it was a nice to have, it was a bell and a whistle, and it was quite expensive. But if you link it in and truly show the value of it with your whole kind of business data, and you use it in a better way, then it's going to add value. And hopefully, I'm leading with words here, but I'm hoping that we can then use Customer Insights journeys with data from Customer Insights data to influence what we're doing for these triggers and stuff like that.
So something which is really important to mention is Customer Insights data has segments.
Yeah.
So it will essentially, put people into segments based on, their transactions or purchase history.
Yeah.
And you can then theoretically use those segments from data to create journeys.
Okay.
So that is essentially bringing the tools together. That's the main, key positive that I've seen.
So as a benefit then, this transition, this name change as we start to conclude the podcast, it's a positive move from Microsoft.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive as it's given you more as I say, I don't want to rinse the term, but customer insight. It's giving you a great
Maybe
level
the
of
name
insight.
wasn't as bad as what I started the podcast off on then.
Exactly. So it's tackling it from two angles, isn't it? It's looking at the data.
Yeah.
So what are they buying? What events have they been to? And then it's using that data to influence your marketing efforts. So you're essentially targeting the right person at the right time, personalised towards them. It's not just a general blast.
Yeah.
You're making informed marketing efforts, to target audiences that are hopefully going to generate you more money, in short. So it's certainly a benefit for everyone who will use it.
So bringing that functionality aligned together, putting them under one hood, linking it with the sources like CRM, potentially Business Central and more, is only going to aid basically the customer journey and experience that our customers can provide to their customers with the tools that are available. So it's another arm to their bow that you just get it as part of the customer insights tool now. So it's one SKU, it's one product per se from Microsoft now. It's one monthly cost for the base solution. But then inside of it, it's two angles of functionality, the data side and the journey side. So in terms of the cost, do we recall what the cost is for customer insights for a brand new customer today?
So these are the bits that I have written down. So you've got this concept of, if you were to buy it now, essentially all customers must start with the base SKU, or a minimum, they get a required quantity of 10,000 people interacted. So that's your journeys.
That's your traditional kind of marketing blast. How many times have you sent out an email or something to somebody, which is like marketing used to be. That's as is what marketing used to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to take care of the insight side of it, you have this 100,000 people unified.
That's on the data side.
Yeah. So that's the data side of it. In terms of the actual costs, that's something that, do you have in front of you?
You mean you want me to say it? You want me to do it because you don't want to be the one that says, "Oh well, Zach's giving us some bad news." The short is, price has gone up.
Price has gone up, yeah.
So
that was the short of it.
if you don't have CRM in your minimum 10 users, like you did with marketing, then the price is £1,397.30 per month.
Yes.
Now, as a rough, that's gone up about 100 and something, 200 quid ish on that price since the 9% price increase from April of this year that Microsoft did for all subscriptions. But what our traditional CRM users and most customers at Tecman have got, they've got the 10 minimum kind of licenses for CRM, so they get the attach concept. So people have been used to paying since April £616.50 a month for marketing and marketing alone.
Yeah.
Now, today, buy it, the solution is 821 quid and 90p a month. Yeah. So, but what you're getting is you're getting marketing of all the functionality that we've been able to use, and we're getting the customer insights data side of it. So, in principle, you are paying an extra just over £200 a month for a tool that you never had before. Yeah. So you are getting a whole load new to functionality. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head, and again, I'll caveat myself going, I stand to be corrected, but I believe customer insights functionality on its own before this got merged together, that used to be nearing on £1,000 for, depends on what SKU you went for alone. So if you think about what it used to cost to what they're building it into, actually you're getting two for the price of one and a quarter, essentially, to an extent. Now, price increase it is the flat way people will look at it. I understand it's not a great thing, but think about our job is to also allow customers to understand the value that the tool will now bring to them and why you could continue to invest in the solution. But also the reason why any new customers wouldn't go back and go, do you know what, I'll go back to MailChimp instead, or I'll go and choose another. Why is it that Microsoft are a market leader and differentiating compared to the alternatives? And we're not going to discuss that in detail today, but that's what our job has to be with our customers over the coming months, etc. But yeah, the short is there's a price increase.
Yeah.
But then it's a case of, well, when does the price increase kick in? So buying it today, new customer, you pay the new price. No other choice. You can't buy the old price anymore. Existing customers, do we know what happens for existing customers?
So if you wanted to contract a renewal at the existing price that you have, I believe it's till before September the 1st, 2024. As long as you renew before then,
so
similarly be at a similar price.
We can, or a customer can, renew Dynamics 365 Marketing or Dynamics 365 Marketing Attach. As long as they're a current customer prior to September 2023, they can renew at that price again for another year, basically an NCE year.
Another year, yeah.
I believe that you can renew for longer, but there is another deadline date, something like 2027, that that no matter at that point in 2027, if you're in a 3-year deal, that's it. You're in. That's gone. Yeah. But typically, most of our customers are, well, I think all of our customers, knowing what I know about our marketing customers, they're all in a year's agreement, pay it monthly, but it's a commitment for a year. So up until your agreement renewing, expiring, and the opportunity to renew, as long as it renews prior to the 1st of September 2024, you can renew again at the marketing price, so the £616.50, if that's what the price is whenever it renews. So you can do that essentially for one more year.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you can't use the customer insights data, as I found out this morning from Microsoft, that put it in writing for me.
Yeah, exactly. So you're essentially renewing, but you're also gaining a preview almost of what you would get once the pricing does eventually change to customer insights /data.
Yeah. So again, the reality is you can save your £200 a month, but you can't take the benefit of what you're going to get. You've got to take the plunge into the new SKU. Is the short of it.
Yeah, it's important to say on pricing though. Obviously, nobody likes a price increase. That's obvious to say. But it's how you justify the value, as you say. If you have, 2 different solutions now, customer insights and marketing, or data and journeys, however you want to call it. If customer insights is providing you with a level of insight that's helping to inform your marketing effort and you're making more sales,
then it pays for itself several times over.
It pays for itself. So it depends on if you can justify that cost based on the sales you make that the tool provides.
So one thing with Microsoft, they'll always consistently evolve and add value into the solutions. Sometimes we see name changes, sometimes we see apps kind of combining together, etc. But I don't think we can ever fault Microsoft of trying to keep the improvement program going.
Exactly. Microsoft are one of the biggest companies in the world for a reason. Yeah. They've got endless resource to invest in the tools that they have, and they want their solutions to be the market leaders. Yeah. So you can guarantee that if you were to move to customer insights journeys data, it's going to significantly improve into the future.
So to conclude then, we've got a name change.
Yeah.
Dynamics 365 Marketing becomes Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, and the journeys element to Customer Insights.
Yes.
There's a price increase.
Yes.
But actually, dig deeper, it's not really a price increase. Actually, you're getting more functionality because you're getting the data side of Customer Insights as part of the tool as well, and Copilot, and obviously more investment into real-time marketing. So you're not just getting a price increase and standing still with the functionality. It's not, to be clear, it's not just a price increase.
Yeah.
Outbound marketing is no longer going to be enhanced. Will be supported for the foreseeable, but no longer enhanced. And essentially, customers need to, if they haven't already, they need to start exploring real-time marketing.
Yeah, and Microsoft have already produced a PDF essentially telling you how to transition from outbound to real-time marketing. So if any customers do want that PDF, just feel free to get in contact with me. Cool. And I'll send it over. So the roadmap / transition is already mapped out for people to do. Okay. And as I say, it's not very painful. It's just a matter of planning to do it and doing it.
Okay. So overall, there's a little bit of kind of pessimism with me in terms of a name change and reasons, and when you see it flagged up to start with, you're going, oh, really? But actually, you dig a little bit deeper, and actually, this is a positive change from Microsoft. Yes, we'd love a positive change and no price difference, but that's not reality. So in short, we've got some new functionality that we're going to start delivering to our customers.
Yes.
And we've got customers that need to get on a transition plan that already got marketing.
Yeah.
But as a whole, we've tried to, I say, kind of put some reasoning and clarity behind the change. There's a lot to consume. There'll be more content in time about customer insights and more. But I think that'll wrap up today's episode of Tecman Talks Dynamics. So any questions from anyone, please feel free to get in contact with us on the topic of marketing and the changes. Happy to support any issues or questions or queries that you have. Otherwise, thanks so much for listening again. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
And until next time, thanks for listening to Tecman Talks Dynamics.